I'm Braxton Roberts and it's auction time. So the question I have for you is, what do you think it's worth? Well, today we got about 15 items up for auction tonight, and it's incredible how nice they are. So what we're going to do is I'm going to introduce to you and show you what they are and allow you the opportunity to estimate what you think they're worth. But there's a few terms that you need to be aware of each and every time you go to auctions throughout all of America. The first term is called a buyer's premium. And what a buyer's premium is it's a fee charged to the end of a sale to allow the auctioneer an extra expense to cover some overhead that he might have. The further north you go, the higher the buyer's premium gets. Here in Atlanta area, we charge 13% buyer's premium, and you get a 3% discount if you use cash or check. Now, what that means is if you pay $100 for this bell, when you check out, your fee will be approximately $110 to $113, depending on how you pay for it. And of course, it's plus tax. The government always has to get his share. And then second of all, the next term is called choice. Now, right here we've got actually two pairs of iron urns, and these are going to be sold at choice. In other words, if you only want one or if you want two. So if you want one and the hammer price, let's say, is $50, then you can only take one item. But if you wanted both and you said, I'll take two, then the price will be $50 times two, so therefore times the money. So make sure you know what you're hearing as you go to auctions. What the buyer's premium, choice, and times the money. Choice means if I've got maybe 10 to 15 items or 2 or 3 items similar, but they're not exact, and I hold them all up in the air. And you only want one of the items, so therefore you could take choice. So choice is another term that auctioneers use a lot. If you want 2 of the items, you can take 2 of the items. But if you do 2, then it's 2 times the hammer price, therefore choice. And the other final term is called one lot. And that's what 99% of the items sell for. And that is you buying everything held in the air or everything described in the lot. So you're buying one money or one lot. So there you go. Now you have terms. All right, are you ready? Let's go find out today what we have at the auction. Hey guys, in the 1940s and 50s, hip-hop and 1950s delis and diners were the rage. And tonight at our auction we got a cool 3-piece little bar set, bistro bar set. And check it out. You're at the home of Miss Dot's Diner, and she serves all type of 1950s hamburgers, shakes. Matter of fact, where's everybody at? I want a chocolate shake. Hey, come follow me. Let's go check out this 3-piece bistro set. This is actually very cool. These were actually real popular in the 1940s, 50s, and 60s. This is actually a modern set made to look old. It's actually all tufted with little diamond accents on the front grid with 2 nice chairs. Actually, the condition of this is actually absolutely amazing. So, estimated value on something like this is between $150 to $400. But the question I have for you is, what do you think it's worth? Hey guys, you're buying a super nice little, what's that? 3-piece mid-century modern white bar. Sell it, go.
Oh, me? Okay, here we go. All right, great. All right, gentlemen, give me 100 and go. 70 in, put it 100, put it on my mom, put it 50. Where? Who get 50? 75, 75, 75, now 100, now 2.25 right there. Nice 2. Let me get 2.5. 2.5. He's in at 2.25. Now 2.5. 2.5. Half. 2.5. Half. 2.5. Anybody get 250? Last call. 250 and sold it. 225 to 92.
All right, our next item up for bid tonight is a 1920s Mission Oak desk. Now this is actually a very unique one because in all the years we've been doing this, which has been 28 years, I've actually never seen one that has an original Tiffany style lamp attached to it. The lamp is actually from the 1920s also, and you can tell it's got the original horsehair wiring. The lamp does need to be rewired, but this is actually a nice rare desk. Now all these have to do with condition. This does have a little bump right here on the veneer, but that does not detract from the actual uniqueness of this desk. But a 1920s Mission style, very rare desk with a originally built-in lamp. What do you think it's worth? Estimated value on something like this is between $150 to $300. The question I have for you is, what do you think it's worth? Let's go find out live at the auction. Probably 1910 Mission Oak It does have a piece of veneer bubbling up right there. Original lamp, this is all original to it. Very unique piece, I've never seen one. I've looked for signatures, can't find any signatures, but this is all original. Sell it, very rare.
Excellent example here, my friends. You tell me, give me 300. Open at 300.
LG.
Open at 300.
I said LG, I'm looking at it.
Look at 300. Top now 3. 200. Under money here. Bring it here now. 250 here. 2 now. 2.5. Those who know. 2.5 pound make your money here. 2.5 pound. 2.5 pound. 225. One time. I'm at 200 now. 2 and a quarter. 2.5. Now. 275. Don't call now. 275. 250 now. 275.
I know you can resist.
Right there, 250, a better number.
Victorian is actually my favorite type of product from the antique industry. Victorian was actually about 1865 to about 1890s, right in that range, but pre-Victorian was actually East Lake period. Now this is actually a very, very, very unique Victorian writing box. Now this is where you put your ink wells at, you put your ink pens here, and you might have 2 different types of colors of inks. You'd actually put your letters in here, and you'd put your paper in here. This was actually very, very on the high end. So this would only be found in the very early plantation houses, maybe here in the South. It would not be a common thing that a normal person would actually have in their house. This is actually in very good condition. The inkwell lids are not original to this piece, so that will affect the price. But the actual uniqueness of this item is very nice. It's got the original brass decorations all the way around it, all the original blue fellets in the lid, so everything's there. When it's all closed up, you got a beautiful 1880s early writing desk Victorian box. So the question I have for you is, what do you think it's worth? This is an early lamp desk right here, super nice, all original letter box. I've actually got 2 left bids. I've got a 175 and a 200 on the floor. Let's go.
2, now 2 and a quarter. 2 and a quarter.
All original 1880 Victorian.
Number 2, now 2 and a quarter. I'm going to get you 25. 225. 225 and a half pound. I'm going to get 2 and a half. I'm going to get 2 and a half pound. Jump back in 250. 2 and a quarter and a half pound. I'm going to get 2 and a half. I'm going to get 275. 275. 300. 3 and a quarter, now 3 and a half. 3 and a half, 275. I'm delayed, 375. Now 4. And 4, last call, 409. 375 to 405, great.
Hey, today we have up for auction an original, turn of the century, Gone with the Wind style lamp. Now these lamps were actually very sought after, and actually to find one in intact condition that's not been electrified is actually extremely hard to find. The majority of these have been electrified so that we can use them today in our modern houses, but this is an original oil lamp. Now these things come apart, so you always have to be very careful on how you move them. We actually were at an auction years ago, and I handed one off to a person, and he held the top, and of course the bottom fell and broke. But these actually just lift right off. See if we can do this. And they just sit down right here, and here's the original oil lamp burner, and you put your oil right in there, and off you go. And you can refill it that way. This is an excellent piece of turn of the century and early Victorian. It's got original brass or bronze bases, original inside, original lamps with the decorations. The question is, what do you think it's worth? Guys, usually these are electrified. This one has not been electrified. It's all original. There it is. Nice original burner, everything. Sell it.
Beautiful. All right, John, give me 200. Give me 2, give me 2, give me 2, give me 2, give me $100 where?
Original oil lamp.
100, 70, 50, 50, 75, 50, 100, 110, one time. 120, sir. 120, you got 110, Joe, and now 120, 120, sir. We got 120, 110, 120, all in, all out, 120, 130, you got 30, sir. And now 140, now 140, 140, 140, 140, 130 in the middle. Now 140, now 140, all in, all out, 140, 140, 140, all in, and
Whole Pottery is actually one of my favorite companies out there, and they actually made some pottery in the 1920s. It's very similar to Roseville, Weller, and stuff like that. But in the 1940s and 50s, Hull commissioned leads to actually make piggy banks. Now, Hull piggy banks comes in multi different colors. They come in brown, which is the most popular, but they come in multicolors, pink and cream with the yellow fronts. They even come with, I call it the polka dot bikini look right there. There it is, a little nice little Hull leads pig. A lot of these are not marked. Some of the smaller brown ones are marked Hull leads. But these are actually two Hull leads pigs, and they're very collectible. You got to be careful. There are reproductions of these out there, but we are guaranteeing these to be old. All right, the question I have for you is, what do you think it's worth? Let's go ahead and do this one first. Now let's do choice. These are Hull leads pigs. Lot 179 left bid C1. You're buying 293 and 179. You're buying choice. Take one or take two.
All right, 50, 75, 50 now, 75,
On the Hull lead pig.
50, 60 where? 50 now, 60, 60, 60, 60, 60, 60, 60, 50 now, 55 now, 60, 60, 60, you're out. 60, 60, now, 5, 65, 65, 65, 65, and now. So, number
He took 170. All right, our next item up for auction is actually a traveling shaving mirror. Now this was actually, this is Victorian period, which means it's 1880s, 1890s, and this is an oak trifold with bevel mirrors, traveling shaving mirror. And what's very neat about this, it actually folds up and has a little handle on it, and you could actually just take it where you go. You could actually lock it down so it won't open, and you travel. There's tons of etchings all the way around it, on the front, and then on the back. They're all around it. And these are actually a bronze or a brass metal, and you open it up. So this was actually designed for a very wealthy aristocrat, and you saw it in the large antebellum Victorian plantation houses. This is actually a unique item. It's one of my favorite items here tonight. So the question I have for you is, what do you think it's worth? Check it out, all there. Look at the back of this thing.
The copper?
Yeah, it's like engraved leather, all beveled. Scratch C2, C2.
There it is.
That's it. You're buying it.
Guys, check me out. I can't see here. Give me 100 to go. Have it 100, 50, 75, 50 down, 75, 75, 100 down, 25, 125, 125, 150, you got 150, 175, 150 down, 155, and 2, 2 down, 2 and quarter, 2 and quarter, 2 and quarter, 225. I'm at 200 down, 225, 225, everybody get 225. Let's talk 2 and quarter, and so $200, number 4.
Hey, tonight we got a great oak curved front china cabinet. Now these were actually from the turn of the century to about 1920s. What makes this one unique is actually it's got double bows, a flat door, but it's got a lot of nice carvings up here. These actually came in many different forms, shapes, and sizes. Some of the very large ones will be almost 6 to 7 feet tall, extremely wide, triple bow doors, and all of the above. But when you buy these, the one thing to know is condition is everything. The first thing you got to check is always check and make sure your glass is original and intact. You can actually look at the bottom down here and you can see that this one's all tacked. You can also take a ring and just tap it like that and you'll know. Many people use plexiglass to the sides, and sometimes it's hard to tell if you're sitting a long ways off. So make sure you always tap on the glass and make sure it's all glass, there's no damage in it. If you have a damaged piece of glass, it really affects the value of the piece. An average piece to get fixed is about $175 to $200 for an average piece of glass. So the question I have for you, what do you think it's worth? All right, there it is, selling. Nice carving.
500. Hook it 5. Have it 5, 5, 53. Where? 53, 70 and 2. Let's go. Have a 2 up top. Now 3. Have a 2 now. 3. 225. 70 and let's have a go. And now 250, sir. Now 275. 275. Now 3. Now 3 and a quarter. 3 and a quarter. 3 and a quarter. Everybody get 325. I'm at 300. Up top. Now 325. 325. Everybody get 325. Everybody get 325. I'm landing on down. Everybody get 325. And now. Sold it. Right there. $300 to bidder number 4.
Each and every day we have estates contact us, and in those estates, many times there are firearms. Now firearms are actually off the charts. When you go, where you're from, there's tons of gun auctions and there's tons of gun shows, but here at our auction company, we do sell a lot of firearms. We have firearms at our auctions. Our primary auctions are New Year's Day, Labor Day, and Memorial Day. That's when we have actually a specific gun auction. But tonight, we've actually got a pistol, and this is actually a Glock pistol. In the original box, it's a Glock 22, which is a 40 cal. And we actually sell a lot of these at no reserve, so high bid gets them. Now, what you've got to understand is all our firearms require and follow all FFL laws, rules, and regulations. So if you plan on showing up here to buy a gun, make sure you have your carrying permit if you have one, and your driver's license. We'll be more than happy to process that for you. If you don't have one, we actually just call and do a background check on you, and many times the gun's released right to you. Many times we have to hold it for further review. But anyway, the question I have for you is, a Glock 22 40 cal in the original box, what do you think it's worth? $261, you're buying the Glock, model 22, it's a 40 cal, full size, new in the box. Guys, this is not a new one, this is actually a used one, but it's extremely in great mint condition. All right, you're buying it. Let's go. You buy this gun brand new for $495, used they're $450 in that range. So,
Here we go. How you telling me? Give me 500 go. Give me 500, give me 440, give me 440, give me 440, give me 300 where? And 3, now 4. I'm at 3 now.
let's go.
1, 2, now 3, 3. I'm at 2, now 3. I'm at 3, now 4. I'm at 300, now 400, give me 440, give me 440, give me 350 where? I'm at 3, now 3 and a half. And now 400, 350, now 4. 350, now 375. 350, now 375. And now 400, sir. 375, now 4. 375, 4, sir. 4 and a quarter, 4 and a half. 4 and a half, 4 and a half. 4 and a quarter, on the right now, 450. 425, and now 450. And 450, 450, 450. Last time, 450 out, and done. So, there. 5.
Hey, next we have up for auction is actually probably an 1890s gold gilt little French curio cabinet. Now this is probably from the 1890s, 1880s, and once again, as with the oak curve French china cabinet, you always want to take a piece of metal and just tap on it and make sure all the glass is in original and in good condition. Make sure there's no damage on any of the bottoms of it. This one here is actually unique because it has a lot of the decorative molding around it. As the same with all types of pictures and orient, which have all the carved stuff on them, they flake off a lot. These are actually, the carvings are made out of plaster, so they'll chip and flake. But you want to just check all the products that you buy and make sure all the carvings are intact and are all there. Sometimes they're off, but the carvings are still there and it's an easy fix, just glue and glue it right back on. But this is actually an 1890s gold gilt French curio cabinet. So the question I have for you is, what do you think it's worth? All original glass, all there.
Beautiful.
All the carvings are intact. Beautiful piece.
There it is. Numbered on the back.
It's nice.
1930s. Good, got great age. We got great age.
200 go. Who gets 200?
Let's go.
200 now half. I'm at 100 now, 150, 150, 150, and 100 and a half. 25. Now 150, you got 150, and now 175. 150, now 175, 175. 2 and a quarter, sir. 2 and a quarter, 2 and a quarter, 225. 225, 250, and 2 and a half, and 275. 275, beautiful piece. 275, 250 now, 275, 550, 275, 260. One time. 250, 260, 260, 270. 270, 280, 280, 280, 280, 280, that's all I ever get 280 in it. So, 270 to 405.
Hey, if I use the word Roseville, many of you know exactly what I'm talking about. Roseville is a pottery from the turn of the century all the way up until the 1940s and 50s. It was real collectible in the 1910s, 20s, and 30s, right in that range. In the last 10 to 15 years, Roseville has taken a big hit as far as the values, but it's still very strong. These are actually 2 bowls by Roseville, and this is called Roseville Donatello is the pattern. And these are actually very, very nice. As with all glassware and all pottery, you want to always check the condition and make sure there's no chips or damages, because that affects the value almost up to 80% of the value. So you have something that's worth $100, if it's got a chip on it, it's 15, 20 bucks. So condition is incredibly important when it comes to pottery like this. A lot of times it'll be marked on the bottom, but a lot of times it's not marked. Sometimes it'll have a red or a light blue R for early Roseville. But you have 2 bowls here. They're both in mint condition, both by Roseville and both Donatello pattern. So we're going to sell these at choice today at the auction. So the question I have for you is, what do you think they're worth? We're going to do choice. This is Roseville Donatello, and they're all perfect, no damage. Roseville Donatello.
Here we go, Roseville. What are you going on here? 50, 50, 70, 59, 75, 100, 75, 100, square. 50, 60, let's go. 50, now 60, 50, 60, 50, 60, 50, 60, 50 down, 60, 50, 60 down, those nose. 50 down, 55. One time, 55, 55, 55, and so 50 dollars away.
One of the rare pieces we actually run across is actually rookwood. Now it's not similar to Roseville, but it's in the same collectible pattern. But rookwood is actually a very, very high-end collectible pottery, and this is actually a rookwood vase. Now all the rookwood is actually marked on the bottom and dated with a symbol. So I believe this one here, if we translate it right, is 1924. Now you could actually look rookwood up, and there are actually many, many different glazes they put on it, many different colors. But rookwood is a very collectible, very desirable, and very sought after. But you got to make sure, as in like Roseville, any type of pottery and glassware, the condition is perfect. And this one here, we'd actually call perfect. The glazing is perfect. There's no flaws and no errors in the chips or the glazing. The value of this piece is somewhere between $150 to $400. But the question is, what do you think it's worth? Let's go find out. Hey guys, this is a rookwood. Got the original rookwood mark on the bottom of it.
Beautiful.
There it is.
Hi, Jay, I'm ready to go. Set again. $50 square. $50, 50 down, 75, 100, 75, 60. Let's go. 50 down, 60. How much is it? 60 down, 70, 70, 70, 80, I'm 70 now 80, 70 now 80, I'm 70, 70 now 80. Everybody 80, I'm 70, I'm 70, 70, girl, now 80, 80, 70, 75. One time, 75, 75, 75, last talk, 75, and so $70, 129, 1.
Another piece of Victorian furniture that we have tonight up for auction is the Victorian cylinder desk. These are actually from the 1880s, and these are actually walnut. One of my favorite woods is walnut, and you can make some incredible things out of walnut. But this is actually a cylinder desk. It just folds right down like that. Nice burled walnut on the front. Sometimes they're S-roll top desks, they have a curve to them, and sometimes they're just accordion desks like you see on the oak roll top desk. But this is actually a Victorian desk. You'd actually sit down at it, and the piece would pull right out, and you can sit down at it. It's got the original leather top on the top of it, and a nice cabinet. This here is unique because it actually even has the original key with it, and all the locks work. So there you go. Beautiful Victorian 1880s cylinder desk. The question I have for you is, what do you think it's worth? Let's go find out. Victorian desk, all there, all original. Guys, got the original key with it. Got the pull-out leather sit. There it is. Check it out.
Hi, everyone, tell me, give me 1,000 to go.
$500 piece.
Give me 500. 3, now 4, 4, 5, 400, now 500, 5, 400, now 5, 400, 400, I'm 4, now 4 and a half, get everybody 450, 450, 450, 4 and a half, I'm 4 and a 4.
Did y'all tell them it was a Victorian cylinder?
Guys, it is Victorian cylinder.
Got the key, Victorian, I'm 400, 4 and a quarter, 4 and a quarter, and now 4 and a half, and now 475, sir, 500, sir, 5 and a quarter, 5 and a quarter, 525, 525, 550, sir, 550, now 575, 550, now 575, 500 more time, 575, 575, what do you say, one more time, don't let it go, 575, I'll let it know down, 575, and so right there, 550, the bidder.
Hey, coins are something that we run across every day in our business. Now, if you've ever been to Loganville in our shop, you know that we have a coin shop right here. So if you ever buy, we do sell and buy gold and silver coins of all shapes and sizes. So we do invite you by to stop by our coin store. But a consignor actually consigned these today. These are actually 6 1897 uncirculated Morgan silver dollars. And we are going to sell these at 6 times the money. So that means if the high bid, once again, is $50, then it would be $50 times 6. The condition of these varies tremendously. You could buy them all the way from MS70, which is basically high-end proof, all the way down to G4, G2, which stands for a good grade. But typically if you find a G2 grade, you're not going to be able to read the date. It's going to be very, very worn. But these here are probably actually in the 45 to 50 grade. So what do you think they're worth? An 1897 Morgan uncirculated silver dollars. I don't know. Let's go find out at the auction. Guys, these are 1897 Morgan uncirculated dollars. They're all there, all clean, all perfect. They're times 6, sell and go.
1 and 6 times your money here. Give me 50.
25.
25, 35, 30, 35, 30, 35, 30, 35, 30, 30, one time. 25, 30, 25,
You with him?
I'm right here at the left bid at 35, now 40, and now 40, 40, 37 and a half, one time, 37 and a half, now 40, now 42, 50, now 45, 42, 50 here, 45, sir, 45 left bid, now 47 and a half, gentlemen, 47 and a half, 47 and a half, left bid is in, you gentlemen are out, 47 and a half, 45, 47 and a half, 47 and a half, last one, 47, 50, and
We run across sterling flatware and sterling items every day. Sterling is very in the silver market, and right this minute, silver is at about the $17 an ounce range. But today we have actually 2 early Kirk and Sons fork and spoon set. And these were actually from the turn of the century, 1910s, right in that window there. And the carving on them is absolutely beautiful. You could actually look at the carving and the carved roses on them. Now, if you flip it over on the back, this one here is monogrammed. Now, if you're buying a lot of sterling silver and sterling silver flatware, when you have flatware that's monogrammed, it actually takes away from the value of the actual item, but not that much. But these are absolutely gorgeous sets. Today you're going to be buying both of these for one money, because it's a set, and we're going to be selling them. So what do you think they're worth? S. Kirk and Son, sterling silver fork and spoon? I don't know. Let's go find out at the auction. Guys, this is S. Kirk and Sons. They are sterling silver forks. Super nice. All original S. Kirk and Sons. Times 2.
1 and 2 times your money. Give me 15, go. Hook it, 50, 75, 75, 100, 85, 85, 95, you're out, Joe. 91, 100, how about 100, 125, 125, I'm at 100, 110. How about 110? How about 110? 110 help you. I'm in the back at 100, 110, 110, 110, 110, all in, 110, and so right there, $100 times 2.
Baseball memorabilia is always hot in collectibles. Many people are making man caves and looking for some good, authentic baseball memorabilia. Now, as we mentioned before in one of our previous videos, it's very important that you buy from a trusted company. This is a company that we've been selling for quite a few years, and actually they're located out of South Florida. And all the items come with the COA certification, and this is actually a Hank Aaron autographed picture. Now, you could actually, it's a picture of the Atlanta Fulton County Stadium, and the Hank Aaron is actually one of Atlanta's natives, so Hank Aaron memorabilia is very, very hot and collectible around here. So the question I have for you is, what's it worth to you? A Hank Aaron autograph picture with COA? Let's go find out at the auction. Nice Hank Aaron autograph with the COA. There it is. Sell and go.
I don't Hank. Here we go. What do you want at 50? Who get $50? Everybody get 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 25. Who get 25, 35, 29, 39, gotcha. 25 now, 35, 5, 35, 5, 35, 30. One time. 25, 30, now 35, sir. And $30. Is that a yes? 40, now 45. 45, now 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, now 5, 5, 55, 50, now 5, 50, now 5, 5, 55, 55, and now, so $50.
This right here is an autographed Rollins baseball bat, big stick, by the slugger Frank Thomas. And this is actually from a different private seller, but if you look on the back, it's got the gold seal and the certificate of authenticity that Frank Thomas did sign this bat. Baseball bats are awesome and nice, neat items for your man caves or your local bedroom. Make your wife happy and you can hang it right above your master bed and she'll love you even more for that. But anyway, what do you think it's worth? A nice Frank Thomas autographed baseball bat. Let's go find out. This is Frank Thomas, the big stick. It does have a COA right there by one of the national companies. You're buying it, Frank Thomas, the big stick, autographed bat. Fill and go.
There it is. Give me 100 to go. Who get 100 numbers? Elsewhere. Who get 50 now? 25, 70, 25, 35, now 45, 45, 45. and now $50, 45, now $50, sir. 45, now $50, $50, and now 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, again up top, everybody get 55, pound, get 55, I'm get 50 now, 5, and so there, $50, put a number.
Hey guys, what we got up for auction today is a mid-19th century early sewing box. Now these are actually, it's got an original decorated pane on the top of it. And if you look at the sides are incredibly heavily carved. If you open the top up, this is where all your sewing utensils and sewing boxes went. This was actually, a lot of people use these for occasional end tables nowadays, but this is actually an probably 60 to 1880 early, heavily carved sewing box. This is actually a period piece. This would be a piece that you do not want to refinish. The early period pieces, if you refinish them, you take away the value. This is one of those original pieces you don't want to touch. Just use a good soap and hot water. There's a product out there called Howard's, and you could use that very simply, and it will clean this up perfect. But anyway, the question I have for you is, what is an 1880s Victorian sewing box worth to you? Let's go find out at the auction. Victorian, probably 1850s, 1860s, heavily carved on the side.
Beautiful.
There it is.
That's it. Hard tell me. 300.
Little sewing box.
200 go. $100 a roll. 100 now half. I'm at 100 now half. 100 now half. 125 one time. I'm at 100 now 110, 120, 120, 125 one time. Let's get easy. I'm at 120 now 5. 120 now 120. 125 and 120 anyway.
Hey guys, thanks for coming to Braxton's Auctioneering today. I hope you've enjoyed it and you learned something. Hey, if you're in the Atlanta area, make sure you stop by and visit us at the corner of Highway 78 and Georgia 20 in Loganville. Our business hours are Monday through Saturday, so stop by and say hi. Hey, if you do have an estate, we purchase items each and every day. We evaluate items here at our store each and every day. So just give us a call at the phone number below or the email address. Just shoot me an email, I'll respond. Hey, God bless, and you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you at the auction.
And now 55.